Season 5 comes to an end fresh off of a 5th place finish in the World Drivers' Championship. Alex Albon goes back-to-back 2 World Championships in a row. McLaren with their 2nd Constructors' Championship in a row. Hello everybody and welcome to Season 6, a new beginning here for this F1 23 driver career mode. Red Bull Ford remains the same. We are on for one more season with the team. If you remember, we signed a 2-year deal going into last season, and now we hope finally we can get that first world title. It's taken longer than I would like, but I'm more determined than ever and more confident than ever, especially with how we ended season number 5. We have brand new teams, new liveries, a very big shakeup in the calendar, the biggest one we've had yet, and as well roster changes that we're going to go over here today. And let's check out new liveries and some remaining ones here with Red Bull Ford. The lineup remains the same. You got myself, you got Felipe Drugovich. 4 wins for both of us last season, 3 for me, 1 for Felipe in the very last episode in his home Grand Prix in Brazil, picking up his first career win. We hope to build off that momentum going into the season. A team that needs to step it up is this team right here. Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, a dream combo driver pairing, and only 1 win to show for it last season with Hamilton after the chaos in Mexico, and Hamilton was able to top Verstappen in the points even after taking a season off from Formula 1. Verstappen needs to find something this season, and Hamilton could be on his way out for retirement once again following this season. Going into now Mercedes, well, we saw them pick things up last season after season 4, basically a complete disaster for that team. They really picked it up in season 5. Both drivers, Russell and Norris, picking up a win, as well as drivers finishing well in points and 3rd in the constructors for this Mercedes team, who continues with their Monster Energy branding into season number 6. Now going into this first new team, Lotus on the grid now, and they have a brand new driver lineup. And it's actually a rookie pairing of Yuri Vips as well as Marino Sato, who will both be in the former Alpine, now rebranded to Lotus with that black and gold livery going into season number 6. Some more roster changes on the way, however. Moving on, though, to the next team here, McLaren Toyota starting their new partnership together. Their lineup remains the same. Alex Albon, 2 back-to-back championships, dominated the first half of the season and was able to hang on in the last half. Aiden Jackson, the other half of this team, winless last season after a strong second season in his Formula 1 career. That first season with McLaren picking up several wins. He wants a rebound season, Now going into the next team, BMW, of course, no changes really for the livery. However, when it comes to the driver lineup, Yuki Tsunoda still on the team, but Esteban Ocon replacing the retiring Carlos Sainz. So Ocon goes from that Alpine team, comes over to BMW for this season here of F1 racing. Now next team, Trackhouse Racing, got their first win last season, late in the season. A brand new team, of course, one of 2 American teams on the grid. Their lineup remains the same. They keep Charles Leclerc as well as Oscar Piastri. Piastri still seeking that first win in Formula 1 here 6 seasons in, as we now move on to the next team here, and it's the second but new American team on the grid, Andretti Global here, and their lineup is an interesting one. They bring Pierre Gasly over from Alpine, and they keep the remaining Liam Lawson, who was on the team that they're taking over, which is the Haas F1 team. So Gasly, Lawson, going to be an interesting lineup. There's some youth but experience there as well on this team. We come through into a brand new partnership that was completely unexpected. Connor Sport has actually partnered up with McLaren, and you can see it right there. It is now Connor Sport McLaren with a driver lineup still remaining Jack Doohan as well as Callie Mayer. A brand new beginning there. We'll talk more about why you're seeing what you saw with them in a moment. And then the brand new partnership with Williams and Lamborghini, where we will see Zhou Guanyu remain with the team, but Frederick Vesti, a new driver on the grid, rookie there to this season. We roll in to Japan, Suzuka, for preseason testing. No longer on the calendar this season, so of course we have it at least in some form.
All right, mate, just go out and make a few laps and tell us how it is.
We'll go out and get our first laps of testing in, and I was really happy right off the bat with how the car was driving, feeling very confident here in preseason testing. And, you know, we're still seeking that first win in a world title battle, and we've been close. We've only had a best of third in our career so far in the actual end season standings, but I'm confident this is the season we're going to get it done. And we've got 23 races on the calendar again this season, and I wish last season had that because I felt like we were really getting on a roll. Alex Albon was starting to fade. Things could have really gone in our favor, but now we're back to the 23 race schedule, and we'll go over the massive schedule shakeup here in a few moments time so you guys can see that here. But very happy with how the car is so far. We can win this year, guys. I mean, it's flawless around the circuit. Other cars on track here, Ferrari as well, like we talked about already. I mean, it was not a good season really for their standards with, you know, their driver lineup in Season 5 with Hamilton and Verstappen. That should be a lineup that should be going for a championship, and they didn't quite have it all season long. But their car looked okay in preseason testing, and same for Mercedes as well with the duo of Russell and Norris. Really not much issue there. They look solid as well as these top 5 teams continue to be really close. But you got this team here, the brand new team Lotus. They are going to be starting behind. They need to find some pace, but right off the bat here in preseason testing, having a bit of an off track, not looking so confident behind the wheel were their drivers going into the start of this weekend here. So we'll have to wait and see. But they weren't the only team struggling. The defending champions, McLaren, and their new partner with Toyota, actually a spin there. That was Alex Albon going around in preseason testing. But other than that, their pace actually looked pretty good aside from the spin. But yeah, there was a few teams that were struggling here in preseason testing outside of that as well. We'll take a look here at BMW actually with their, of course, updated lineup this season. But you're going to see this was actually Esteban Ocon going for a spin on the exit of the first couple of corners there. So not looking good there for BMW to kick off preseason testing. A team that really hasn't done a whole lot. They've been just a midfielder since they've come into the sport. Of course, Fernando Alonso, a big competition director with that team. They're trying to get a partnership from what I'm hearing with one of the big teams going into the future. Trackhouse looked pretty average. You know, they weren't the quickest, but they looked okay. They're not going to be bad, but I don't know if they're going to be a title threat. New team, though, Andretti. What are we going to have to expect from them this season now replacing Haas? I expect them to be off to a slow start, and hopefully they can move forward quickly. Connor Sport's a big one. So Connor Sport is now Connor Sport McLaren. McLaren gets to keep their former colors in, you know, its own form right here with the Connor Sport Butler Global machine with the chrome on there. The reason you're seeing this is the McLaren Toyota mod that I put in the game is you see actually a spin for Connor Sport, and you're as well going to see Lamborghini on track here with Williams. But when I put in the Toyota McLaren mod, it turns the Butler global car into that, and I don't know why. I was trying to fix it and just keep the original Connor Sport car, but I couldn't figure it out. So that's why you're seeing it, which as well is why you see some sponsor overlapping on the livery, but I decided to just roll with it and turn it into its own story, and the sponsor overlapping on the rear wing and the front wing isn't really going to take away from anything, so I decided to turn it into its own thing. I hope you guys are cool with that. I think it's actually going to be a neat little story other than the weird sponsor overlapping on the wings. That's really the only problem. We look at the new calendar to end the episode, and we start in the home of Formula 1. We're going right to Silverstone here for the British Grand Prix to kick off season number 6, and I said we have a huge schedule shakeup here, and let's just go through it now. Race 2, we head to Austria, so we go from Britain to Austria, then we go home racing for Max Verstappen, we're going to the Netherlands, but then we have a bit of a Middle Eastern swing here, 2 back-to-back Grand Prix. We go to Bahrain, then we go to Qatar, and then we go all the way down to South America. We head over to Mexico, then back across to Monaco, which will be, it has been announced, the final Monaco Grand Prix. And big news, it is going to be removing the chicane out of the tunnel, and as well it's going to be a night race, so a big announcement there for Monaco. But then after Monaco we'll be going to Portugal, back to the Middle East for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, then we go home, Canada for Montreal for myself, and then we go to Azerbaijan, Las Vegas, unfortunately I'm gonna suck there, then we go to Belgium, Australia about the middle of the season, Catalonia, and then we head to Italy for Monza, then we go to my favorite place, Singapore, then we have back-to-back American Grand Prix. We've got Miami and then Circuit of the Americas. And to finish out the season, we go back to Italy for Imola, And then we go to Saudi Arabia for Jeddah, Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix for the penultimate round, and then Brazil. So that's going to be interesting to end that season, but a big shakeup outside of really the final race remains the same, and Monaco remains in its same slot, but a big change for Monaco as well. I'm confident we can pull it off this season. I believe it is very well possible, and I hope you guys are excited for Season 6. Let me know what you like the most about Season 6. Let me know what maybe you don't like about Season 6 as well. Your favorite livery, your favorite roster change and calendar change as well. I will see you guys in the start of the next episode for the British Grand Prix. We kick off season number 6. It's going to be a long, grueling 23 race calendar, but I'm ready for it. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.